I'm just finishing up making a video on breakout players for 2026, and I talked about how I felt the Magic and Grizzlies were both in a bit of that not good enough to win a championship, but not bad enough to be in the lottery purgatory. Well, to me, this is a good trade for both teams. I think when you're trying to win an NBA championship as a smaller market team, you have to draft the lottery picks for 2 to 4 years and try to hit on two stars. Then once you get them, whether or not you win a championship will depend on if those players turn out to be high character leaders. Or if the fame goes to their head and they have on or off court issues, you trade them away for picks while they have good value and start over again. This is the unfortunate life of small market NBA teams like the Grizzlies and to a lesser extent the Magic, who haven't really had a big trade or free agency signing since Dwight Howard. While the Magic have had more high draft picks in the last 5 to 6 years than the Grizzlies have drafted slightly better, hitting not only on more of their top picks in Morant and Triple J, but also more of their lower picks in Bane, Brandon Clark, Santi Aldama, and more recently Jalen Wells. The Magic have hit on Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner, but have had a lot more players who they hoped would become stars only become role players like Jalen Suggs and Jonathan Isaac. But as I said in my other video, the Grizzlies should have still built around Triple J in my opinion once all the Ja off-court stuff and injuries have happened. Well, I think they should have shipped out Ja instead of Bane, but the difference was Bane's value was at all-time high this year and Ja's is at all-time low. So while I absolutely love Bane's game and competitive fire, I think this is a great move for the Grizzlies. This is what you do as a small market team. They knew they couldn't win the West with this current team, so they traded him at his highest value and got the best return they could. The crown jewel of this trade nobody's talking about is for sure the 2026 Phoenix pick, which I believe will be in the 6 to 10 range next year. If I'm the Grizzlies, you play out this year, try to further develop Jalen Wells, hope Ja has a great and healthy first half, and trade him at the deadline to a desperate team. Then build around Triple J, Jalen Wells, and the draft picks and try to win the West in a few years once OKC has to pay all their players. I give the Grizzlies a B+. They would get an A from me if they were able to find a third partner like the Nets to take on KCP's contract for multiple second-round picks. Now to the Magic. I also felt they were in purgatory for two reasons. One, several of their lottery picks haven't turned into the third star they need to beat the Cavs and Pacers, with Jalen Suggs, Jonathan Isaac, Cole Anthony, who goes to Memphis in the trade. While decent players, they aren't moving the needle in a playoff series. The second reason I felt they are in purgatory is I don't believe you can win a championship with Paolo Banchero as your best player. While very good, I don't see consistent superstar play, and I think he's close to his ceiling. But now with Bane, as the Pacers showed us this year, you can very much make the finals with no superstar. Just a star, 4 very good starters, and an elite coach and bench. But with Franz Wagner, who also came out this year as a full-blown star, and who in my opinion will be the Magic's best player next year, they have a team capable of making a deep playoff run if all the pieces work. Their three-point shooting was not very good last year, so Bane helps with that. But where he really helps is half-court shot creation. For all of Jalen Suggs and Paolo Banchero's gifts, they don't really create for teammates as much as the Magic hoped in the half-court, and a lot of the burden fell on Wagner late in games. Bane will help with that a ton. What will make or break the Magic in this trade, though, in my mind, is 1, the development of Wagner, and they need to develop a bench like Indiana's. The problem is they just traded away the draft picks they could use to develop the bench on the cheap. But with the right signings and second-round picks, they have a shot. So for this trade, I give the Magic an A. There's only one time you trade away first-round picks as a small market team, and that's the first year your developed stars have a legitimate shot to make a finals run. There's a window there, and these next 5 years are for sure the Magic's window. The timing was perfect. I don't believe enough in Banchero for them to make it, but as a small market team, they had to try, and I love the move. With Tatum's injury and the 76ers a mess, I see the Cavs as the 1 seed next year, the Pacers as the 2, the Pistons as the 3, and the Magic as the 4th. But I think they will be a 50-win team next year and make it to the second round for sure. If they can take the Pacers or Cavs to 6 or 7, that would be a super successful season for sure. Thanks for watching, guys. I have a 2026 Breakout Players video coming out in a few days. Stay tuned for that. Much love, guys. Peace.